I have a special announcement for you guys. That's gonna change things up quite a bit. Huge percent of you guys already know me and what I'm all about, but there's also a slim percent of you that just recently subscribed. So I just want to keep everyone on the same page and just kind of walk you through and tell you more about me. So that way we are on the same page, essentially. When I first started this channel, I knew that I wanted to do video games in the sense. I knew what kind of games I loved. I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to do on this channel. I didn't know if there was a specific genre I should play or if there was a specific game I should be playing. And for the longest time, I would say for a good 8-9 months, I struggled with bringing traffic into this channel. For the longest time, I struggled. And I was still kind of discovering myself, trying to figure out the whole YouTube game out. Up until Unturned was released on console at least. And for those of you who are not aware of Unturned, Unturned has been around since 2014 on PC, but it is pretty new on console, if that makes sense. It just recently came out on console as of November of last year. So it's fairly new. It's still buggy, but it's got a huge potential essentially. So I put quite a bit of time into Unturned on PC, and I really love the concept of DayZ and the graphics of Unturned on PC. But I think what really stood out for me in Unturned was because growing up, I always wanted to play a game that was very much like DayZ. I knew, like, I love DayZ. I would watch people play Arma and DayZ in general, and I loved just watching people interact with each other. But my PC was so shit that I could not play that game to save my life on PC whatsoever. I could not, my PC would just blow up. So when Unturned came out, it had the same concept as DayZ, but it was very limited with graphics. It was not graphically demanding whatsoever, unlike DayZ was. So that just spiked my interest by so much that I just fell in love with Unturned. So when I heard that Unturned was coming out on console, you can only imagine how much of excitement that brought into my life, because it was truly a huge childhood of mine. Like, I loved Unturned, and it was the very first game I played on my very own PC that, like, it wasn't built, it was just a crappy PC that I could do my homework on, you know, like when people first time start playing Minecraft and they just have some kind of game on their PC and they just pour everything into it. That's how I was with Unturned. It was free, it was on Steam, and my PC ran it on somewhat moderate graphics. So I mean, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't the highest graphics, but you know, I had to still tweak the settings up a little bit, but that's besides the point. But anyways, when I heard that Unturned was coming out, I wanted to do something special. In my head, I started making the story in my head, because I was like, well, Unturned doesn't have a story. What if I actually write my own story, or just think of a story? That would be kind of cool, like a roleplay video type of scenario. So I wrote down the characters. I had a story in the back of my mind, and I released a teaser way before Unturned was released on console, and I got quite a bit of hate. I got a lot of hate, and I think mainly I got hate because of the fact that it was a PC version of Unturned, but I titled it console version. So, and obviously the console version is non-existent at that time, so people just started throwing hate at me. So, but the funny thing about The Left Behind was the fact that obviously I had characters in my head, but I didn't know how to attract people into my series. So I pre-recorded the voiceovers as if I was just by myself in that world in Washington, and I kept my recording up until Unturned actually officially came out on console. Because once it came out on console, all I had to do is just put my voiceover over a gameplay, and that just kind of gives you an idea of a storyline. And guys, that video blew up.
My name is Lucas. I'm a survivor.
Yes, it works. Area 2709. My name is Lucas, as I already mentioned. Hey, listen, I've been out here roughly 3 days now, running low on supplies. If anyone comes across this record, I want you to head out west. I will meet you there. Bye for now. I shall meet you there.
And the reason I made that teaser was so I can bring people into my series per se. So, I definitely did attract a lot of people because I constantly started getting DMs from random people day in and day out. Like, hey, I want to be in your series. How do I join? Here's my PSN username. Please add me. Like, it blew up. So then when I released my very first episode, when it was wrapped up with different people, obviously it did absolutely phenomenal. And somebody down in my comment section said, can you do more cinematics? Because episode 1 consisted of 80% of a gameplay and 20% cinematics. By the time episode 2 came out, it was 100% cinematics. Because if there's one thing you want to do, if you're a creator, you want to listen to the people. You want to listen what they want to see. And that's how you keep the flow, keep the growing going. So I listened, and I might have taken it a little bit too far as far as stress involves, but it worked out in my favor big time, because Left Behind was the reason why I started to get recognition, why people started to notice me, notice my channel, why my channel started to get views to begin with, was simply because of the Left Behind series. And to this day, I'm still very shocked that my series blew up, but at the same time, I'm blessed and I'm grateful for every opportunity that I got to experience making this series, because it literally opened up a shit ton of doors for me as a creator, brought a shit ton of ideas, and it genuinely created a community that could just care for my content. But then also we went from recording a 40-minute episode to about 2.5-hour episode. So like, it was very time consuming, but that never bothered me one bit. It never did. As time went by, being in college, you know, you're kind of limited to how much time you have and how much time you can dedicate to the series, you know. So I went from uploading twice a week to once a week as far as series went. So Left Behind series was definitely like a stepping stone for me. I would not let Left Behind define my creativity in one bit. It was just like a learning experience, because as you pay attention to my series from series 1, season 1, episode 1, we start with like no cinematics pretty much whatsoever. Then over time I start implementing sound effects. Which gives you more of perspective being in that situation. Then I start to implement cinematics, so you have a better idea what's going on. And obviously consider the fact that I record in console. When do you ever see somebody record cinematics in console? So, and the frame rate was kind of limited, you know, you only on PS4. I know that I personally struggle with 30 frames per second. It was very locked in frame rate. So when you record cinematics, 60 frames per second is a must, or it's kind of recommended if you want to make it cinematic. The fact that I was recording at 30 frames per second and it still got attention because of storyline, that just tells you a lot about how much community cared about my recording, and I'm beyond grateful for this. So then over time, I just realized, well, if I implement new things, something new that people can witness about my recording, that will bring more people in. So I went from implementing better sounds to start doing more cutscenes, to tweak my storyline, to do more action. And now I'm to the point where I'm recording with visual effects on console. Now I'm gonna lean more towards my announcement, because it's very important that I talk to you guys about this, because this is very big. This is pretty much the reason I'm making this video. And even though the Left Behind series are done with, there's one more project that I want to try to pull off before I'm fully satisfied with what we have accomplished as a community. Roughly about a couple of weeks ago, I was watching a movie on Tubi. Tubi is a platform, it's kind of like Netflix, but it's free. So when you download the app, you literally just hop on that website, and it's just a free website, a free TV platform where you watch movies but the way they make their money is off of ads. So it's sort of kind of like YouTube, like you watching a video on YouTube, it's got ads. That's how YouTube makes money. That's same concept, but they legitimately stream movies like from Hollywood and everything else. As I was scrolling through that website, I noticed that there was one movie that kind of got my attention. It was based off of Minecraft gameplay. It was recorded by a YouTuber that goes by Ropo. I'll put him down below as well. And the name of the movie is Minecraft Adventure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie. And if you click on that movie, it is literally a Minecraft roleplay video from YouTube.
And so I want to hang out with my best bud, Stark. Alright, okay, I can never find him. We kind of always know that. But today, let's say a little prayer. Say that he is in his room. Okay, he's going to be in his room. Alright. I'm going to go through my room, up to his room. He's going to be there. It's going to be a great weekend. Nothing crazy is going to happen. We're just going to chill out. Oh, we should go jet skiing. That would be so cool. Okay, let's see if he's up here. Oh, and it's good weather, too. That's going to be awesome. Hey, Stark.
So on his YouTube channel, it's kind of split into sections. But on Tubi, it's all kind of together. And it's not even 15 minutes long. And his video is incredibly well done. He's got everything what a successful roleplay video needs, and essentially a movie, because he's got a very well written script. He's got protagonist, he's got antagonist, he's got rising action, then he's got cinematics, he's got great voice actors. And you can tell when you're watching it, you can tell it's been like, it's a YouTube video. It's a gameplay roleplay. So literally, and you know exactly where I'm going with this, you guys. So that inspired the shit out of me. And I decided to do something that's never been done before in Unturned history. Now I'm very excited, but at the same time, I'm fucking terrified. It could really just go really good or really bad. I really don't know. I already have a script. I already have main characters picked out. I already have a storyline in mind where I want to go with this. And now I'm in the process of talking to Tubi's aggregator, who is the person you want to talk to at first when you ever want to get your feet wet in that field per se. So I reached out to the guy, and now I'm just waiting on response because he's supposed to give me requirements. He's supposed to give me the first stepping stone to get my feet in that field, and potentially to give me the green light to make this onto TV platforms, which means that I have to hustle on my part. I have to play my cards right, and it's going to cost me quite a bit of money. To kind of give you an idea, I would have to purchase an official TV license for my sound effects, because the sound effects that I'm using in my videos right now are they're copyrighted, but I have the permission to use them, but only on my channel. If I need the commercial usage, I would have to purchase a whole different license, and that's not cheap. This is the first time I've ever tried to do anything like this. Quite frankly, I don't even know if I'm gonna succeed on this. And you know, growing up, I've always been driven into movies. I loved writing scripts, and I know a lot of people think I'm crazy when I say this, but I genuinely do enjoy writing stories. Like, you know, people, you probably can't imagine yourself just sitting behind a desk, have a sheet of paper or on Google Docs or whatever, and just write a story down. I enjoy it. Like I love to create a story, and I love to visually see it. I really enjoy it. Like it literally just gives me goosebumps even talking about it. This is just something I would love to have on my bucket list. Like, oh yeah, one of the videos that I made, it's on a TV platform. How fucking cool is that? And plus, the kid that I'm working with, he goes by Cool IC. He's got talent. And if you're watching this, you 100% have a talent. You know how to voice over. You know how to really play a character. And you nailed the part since day one. When I gave you the script and I was like, okay, let's just do testing and just test this script out. You nailed it. He knows what he's doing. He nailed it. And most importantly, he knows how to act. So when I give him a script and I tell him, so at this part you have to yell, he yells. And he really gets into the character. And this is like, it's a seller. Like, he can sell it pretty well. And I guarantee if I tell him, hey, listen, you gotta cry on this part, he's gonna make it sound like he's crying. He's probably not gonna do it in person, but with the voiceover, what's cool is that like you just have to make it sound like. You don't have to like personally do it. It's not as intense as like real acting. So you just have to make it sound like you are. You just have to sell it to the rest of the people that you were crying in the scene, and people will buy it. And I bet he would nail that part. So boys, we gotta make him famous. He's got a lot of potential. But the bottom line is, if you don't see me upload for the next 2-3 weeks, just know what's going on. I'm trying to pull off something really big, something truly a lot bigger than myself. So don't freak out when you just don't hear from me. I will still respond to comments. I will still try to go live here and there, but I might not upload as often as I would like to, because I'm working on this and I really want to pull this off. But if you want to help me out with the recording or anything along those lines, just add me on PSN at RooslahnKing and send me a text message. I want to help, and I'll try to answer to your message when I can, and we'll see what we can do. It's not a promise that I'm gonna work with you, but I'll try to make this the best Unturned movie out there. So on console, at least, you know, there's some incredibly creative PC players out there in Unturned world, and I know the console is kind of limited with what you can do, but at the end of the day, I'm editing on PC. I'm using softwares that cost money, tons of money, that are used by professional developers and creators. So I think we can do some magic here. But yeah, just let me know if you want to join, if you want to help out. If not, not a big deal, but all support is appreciated. And I appreciate you being on this channel. I appreciate you being a part of this channel. And you know, I will never take you guys for granted. Just know I've been in love with you guys ever since I had 5 subscribers. So, and you know, I will not take you for granted. That's one thing I will never do. So peace, and until next time.